Welcome to today's video. In case you don't know me yet, my name is Freya. I am 47 years old and currently 29 weeks and 5 days pregnant with our twins that we conceived through embryo adoption. I wanted to give you an update. Not a lot has happened in the past week, but there have been things that I feel I need to update you on that maybe happened even before and I didn't really think about it. I do feel good. I feel pretty good. It's almost like sometimes I have days when everything feels a lot harder, and then there are days when I feel like I'm over another hump or something. It's almost like growing pains after a few days that seem really hard, and like I'm exhausted and I feel like moving is really difficult. Everything, I don't know, the past few days have been pretty easygoing, I feel. And an update on my iron deficiency. I told you last time that, at my doctor's office, he tested my iron levels and it was really, really low. 9 point something? I can't remember now. But I have been taking 50 milligrams of iron daily. I've also doubled my dose of folic acid from 400 to 800, and taking a B vitamin complex. Everything else stayed the same. Make sure I drink a lot, which I actually have been, but my sleep has gotten so much better. I haven't had any restless legs. So my research proved to be right, whatever I read, that iron deficiency and folic acid deficiency could lead to restless legs during pregnancy. So I've been sleeping so much better and it just feels so good. And the weird thing is, with such low iron levels that I haven't tested since, but probably in a couple weeks when I see my midwife again, normally I should have been so tired, but I wasn't more tired. I actually almost feel more tired now, but it's almost like, when you don't sleep well, your body almost gets used to not getting as much sleep, and you kind of get used to having only 5 or 6 hours versus 8 or 9 hours, which, I'm almost there now. And I don't know, sleeping more makes me just more tired, but it's a good kind of tired. It's just, it's not like extremely exhausted. It's just almost like, I can relax now and I can just come to a resting point. So that's a good thing. Braxton Hicks, I wanted to talk about that. I never realized that I actually had them, but now in hindsight, I have to say, I probably have had them for a really long time already. And it's just now becoming more clear to me that that's what it was all along. Let me explain why. I had my daughter 9.5 years ago, and I remember having Braxton Hicks. It's totally normal. Your uterus practices, gets ready for contracting. And even before I even started my second trimester, I already started feeling this pressure, but it only felt like it was just pressure on my bladder. And now, when I look back, now it's getting so much stronger. And because my uterus now, of course, has expanded so much more. I can feel the babies like all the way here, way up here, which is really freaky to think about. Where did my stomach go? Where did all these organs go that take up all this space normally? The organs are somewhere. I actually watched a nice animation that kind of shows that the stomach kind of is pushed backward a little bit. So that was kind of interesting. But Braxton Hicks, yes. Now I actually feel the entire uterus getting tight. And when that happens, the first thing I can feel is like this pressure on my bladder. It's uncomfortable. It feels like someone is sitting on my bladder, or someone is blowing up my bladder like a balloon. It's uncomfortable, but it only lasts at the most a minute or so, and then it relaxes again. And I feel like it still happens mainly when I exert myself, but the funny thing is when I work out, sometimes when I start working out, I would get a Braxton Hicks, but if I did like a 20-minute workout, then it would be good and would relax. And actually for hours after that workout, I probably won't feel any Braxton Hicks. It's almost like your body then gets the signal, okay, this is a normal level. It's not exhaustion, but it actually kind of feels good. Maybe also the endorphins after an actual workout. That's not the type of exertion that is like like you didn't ask for. It's something that actually makes you feel good, and therefore I think your body your brain connects, okay, this is a good thing, we wanted this, it feels good now, dopamine. You also of course have this, I always have a sense of accomplishment when I did my workout. I always be like, okay, pat myself on the shoulder and say, good job, mama, I'm doing so well. I'm very grateful that I'm so healthy and still fit. Now, my workouts, I've had to slow them down when it comes to frequency because of my weight. It's just, that's what's the hardest for me right now is my body weight. It's so heavy, my feet hurt when I do too much walking and standing and doing stuff all around. It just like, as soon as I get up in the morning already, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, like my feet, it's almost like someone put this huge weight on my shoulders and my feet hurt because like it's so heavy. And I'm at the heaviest I've ever been in my life. And it's not really comfortable. Like my legs always feel like they're working so hard. And I mean, you have to remember that I have been working out and I'm a runner. I did this challenge in March and April where for 30 days I ran 5K every single day, like jogging, not walking. I ran 5K and that was fine. And I did times when I ran 10K, but this year because I knew of the we wanted to do a transfer. I wanted to not just drain my body. I wanted to not over work out and overexert myself. But working out is just becoming more of a challenge because of the weight. It's just the weight. My pulse, my heart rate actually is just fine. It doesn't really go higher, but it feels like it does. I feel like, oh my goodness, my heart rate must be 160, but then I'll look and it's only 140. And I always have I always track while I'm working out to make sure I'm not overdoing it. I modify some movements because I have to be really careful with my sciatic nerves. If I do specific exercises too fast, then the nerve will get pinched. So, like doing on all fours and then lifting the leg backwards and upwards, that I have to do really slowly because if I do it too fast, I'll hurt my nerve. And I probably now do a workout every 2 to 3 days. I do like a real workout. And on those other days, I will still go on my walks and I will still do some stretching and a little bit of exercising. And mainly I do some squats and just some movements so I can keep my range of motion, which to me is really important. I can still clip my toenails. I need to paint my toenails. I want to. That's all no problem because I'm limber enough to where, I just do it sideways instead of, my belly is totally in the way. But when I put on shoes or reach my toes, I can still do so, but I have to just get my leg out of the way sideways. So I'm happy that I'm still limber enough to really do most things that I want to do. I'm not, I'm not dependent on someone. And when I pick up things, I just do a wide squat with my legs to the side. I do low squats, which is good for your pelvis and the baby's moving into the right place. Of course, only one can really move into the exact right place because the second one can't be there at the same time. But those low squats, I feel like they feel good, and I feel good about myself that I actually can do all of that. I have to admit, I'm really proud of myself that I've come this far. And I know that sometimes things can change quickly, especially later in pregnancy. A lot of women don't have problems early on or in the middle, but then toward the end, potentially your body, really is working so hard, and it's so heavy, and those babies are sucking a lot of energy and calories and nutrients. They're sucking it out of you. And but I've always read that the babies get taken care of first, and your body is always second priority. So that's just kind of how it works when you're pregnant, especially later on in pregnancy. The babies will take what they need, and you're going to be last priority. So I'm really trying to get really good nutrients. I bought groceries yesterday, and I'm going to make a lot more snacks. It is hard. It seems like I'm hungry, but I'm not. I'm hungry, but I feel like if I eat now, my stomach is going to be too full. And so I am really making myself eat more smaller snacks and meals, but healthy snacks. I am going to make some chia pudding probably tomorrow for the next few days and have a stash, and cut some more veggies, make a dip. I always eat my fruit, but I try to not eat too crazy much fruit because it's a lot of sugar, and I'm just out of breath. Here's why I'm getting more and more out of breath. I am a professional singer, and oh, by the way, I'm sitting in my workroom right now because you could see probably there's a lot of light here. And everywhere else is like even brighter. But I'm a professional singer, and so I'm very aware of diaphragm. But the reason why I've been so out of breath is because literally those babies are pushing my diaphragm out of the way. And that's why it sometimes feels really hard. So your lungs, in order for them to fill with air, they have to expand. And your diaphragm is that muscle that actually makes the space. It kind of pushes out everything else out of the way so that your lungs then have space to expand and fill with air. Now, when you're pregnant, there is this pressure coming from your uterus because it's huge and there are these babies in there. And so your diaphragm has to work really hard, and you have to breathe more intentionally to push everything out of the way so you can actually take a nice deep breath. And even right now, when I can feel it when I take a deep breath, how hard my diaphragm has to work in order to make space for my lungs. And that's been such a challenge. Frequently throughout the day, especially yesterday, I went to the dentist. It was just a regular checkup. Everything was fine, nothing to report. And they actually didn't do a cleaning this time because he said, it's fine, you can come up back in Germany. I don't know how it is in your country, but we do every 6 months, we do like a checkup. So in my last checkup, I had a little bit of cleaning. I'm not anyone who has tartar, hardly at all. So there was no buildup really. And he said, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to wait until 6 months from now. And then you're going to come back. You're not going to be pregnant anymore. And then we can do a proper cleaning. And other than that, everything looked perfect. But when I was waiting in the waiting room, and I don't know why, normally I don't have to wait long at the office, but yesterday I had to wait for 30 minutes, and sitting in that room with my mask on a hard chair, that was so hard. I kid you not. I could hardly breathe, and it was so hard to get oxygen. I felt like I was going to faint. So I try to avoid going places where I have to wear a mask. And in Germany, you still have to wear the mask pretty much anywhere, like any store, any place where you're with other people that's like a public place. You always have to wear a mask. that's okay with me, but I just try to avoid it. I can't do it for long. I feel like I'm suffocating because I'm already, even when I'm not wearing a face mask, it feels like it's so hard to get any air. And I still always think positive thoughts. I feel the babies move, but I feel like the movements change all the time. Sometimes I have days when I feel a lot of these sudden sharp jabs. And then I have days when I feel more of like a rolling, like a wave through my body. And of course, I know a lot of you experience that if you're pregnant. It's always the same. Every time I'm thinking, whoa, they're moving like crazy. Look at my tummy, it's moving. Then I take my phone because I wanted to catch some footage to show you like how my belly moves. And as soon as I put, as I try to capture it, it stops. And the same goes, when like Andreas or Romy are like, oh, look how crazy. And as soon as they watch or they put their hands on, everything calms down. It's almost like, I don't know how they know. It's like, maybe it's because my breathing changes, because I try to be still so people, like someone can feel it or see it. And maybe that's what it is. But, even right now, even as I'm talking, I can feel here and there, I can feel a little bit of movement. It's always there. And yesterday in the waiting room, there was movement. And there was I could see it and I could feel it. But then as soon as I try to tell someone, look, I was just now on the right and then on the left, little kicks. Sometimes it's just little bitty kicks. And sometimes it's the weirdest feeling, really low down. I like really, really low. And it's almost like someone's tickling me from inside. I don't know, the weird, like the fluttering like crazy, but really strong fluttering. I don't know what it is now. And of course, my ultrasound was a week and a half ago. And then it was, wait a minute, I want to say, yeah, baby B was feet down on the left. So if baby is still feet down on the left, it could be the feet. Just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Baby A was on the right, more behind, and it was head up. I don't know how they move by now, but it seems like every time I was at the doctor's office, they flip-flopped around like insane. And even I don't know how that's possible. Like one is on the left and the other is on the right. And the next time they switched places as far as left and right goes. But it's because one is more behind the other. So they can still kind of flip-flop. Although I don't feel like my belly is like that much in the front, but let me show you my belly. Okay, I'm gonna try just to show my belly. So here, I mean, it is definitely getting more and more round. But there we go. And like, I feel like my skin is getting a lot of, like, when I wear my clothes in the mornings, I have all these wrinkles in my skin from my nightwear, from my shirt. And I feel because the skin is so thin, I get more and more of these imprints all the time. So yeah, it's definitely round. I don't think I have any stretch marks yet. I mean, I check it. I can't really look down here. I can't look at it. Even in the mirror, it's getting a little hard to look there. But I don't see any stretch marks yet. So I guess that could be a good thing, which I'm still not out of the woods. It could still happen, of course. I still have a bit more to go. And some of you asked, what is my goal? How long do I want to keep the babies in? There's no goal. My doctor doesn't have any recommendations as of like we need to induce or anything. We're just gonna keep watching. As long as everything looks good, we're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna wait until they want to be born. And other than that, I don't have a plan. That's just, you know, I have a plan B and I have a plan A and a plan C. So if, you know, if babies want to come early, of course, I'm going to have to go. If they come really early, like before 34, 35 weeks, if anything happens before then, I'm going to go to the clinic that is the closest to me because they have the best NICU and neonatal. They're like awesome. It's a very renowned clinic. People come to it from all over the world. Then I have, you know, if the babies come closer to term, I have two plans. My wish would be for everything to go so smoothly to where it doesn't look like there's any problems. We're going to do more ultrasounds toward the end to always check everything is okay. But I would love to be able to have a birth at home again, just like I did with my daughter. And it is possible with twins, but it'll all depend on mostly twin A. Baby A, if it's head down, if baby B is breech. I mean, they can still turn after baby A is out, you know, during labor, they could still turn. So we're going to have to just see and play it by ear. The good thing is I'm really close to the clinic. So within 10 minutes, I could be there. And my midwife is one of the most experienced midwives here in the area. Whew. So that's the plan if everything goes absolutely smoothly, smooth sailing up to whenever they want to be born. Everything happens naturally. If something is not quite right or we feel like there's some kind of a risk, either with me or with the babies or something isn't clear, then we have this other clinic. It's an anthroposophical, is that the right word? An anthroposophic clinic. It's about 35 minutes from where I live. They specialize in natural birth for multiples. There recently was an article in a newspaper about triplets being born there naturally, no interventions, all the way naturally, vaginally. And so they specialize in that, and they're really good about not intervening. The reason why my first preference, if everything goes well, would be to not go to a hospital is because Corona is really getting bad here again. Like the situation, it's really, really bad. The cases are so high. Number one, I don't want to expose myself to any people, like especially like hospital settings, you know, there are like sick people there. If I can avoid it, I want to stay away from as much as possible, like people where there's people everywhere. I go to the grocery store, that's pretty much all I do when it comes to having contact with people. And then, you know, I see my mother. My daughter goes to school, of course, and her friends come over sometimes. But other than that, I'm never in a place where there are a lot of people. So yesterday I had my dentist appointment, and that was the last thing. You know, when I have my ultrasounds, I'll have to sit there. But other than that, I am trying to avoid to have lots of contacts. And the kids in school get tested 3 times a week. Plus, at the hospital, you're only allowed to bring one person. And that, for me, would not be ideal. I would love to have everyone I need, like for my emotional support. I would love everyone to be there. I would love my mom to be there. Of course, Andreas will be there. And I would love Romy to be there. I think that's all I have. I really want to make a video where I show you the stuff that I got already for the babies. I still need only small stuff. I'm going to put the link because you asked about for my registry. I put some Amazon links in there, and I put my address. I know, you know, but just because some of you asked, I'm not relying on anyone helping me because we got most everything. But there are just a few small things that I need to get now, and I'm waiting until Black Friday week, because I'm sure that those things that I still want to buy, that I actually want to get new, A lot of them I'm gonna find on sale. So I'm waiting for that to make some good deals, you know, to grab some good deals. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're going to be back for my next update. Like I said, I want to do so much, but then I'm trying to work ahead for my business. I'm a vocal coach and I make videos there on YouTube. I'm getting close to the 200K subscribers there. And I feel like I owe it to my audience that I just keep the videos coming. So I have worked up to, I think I have my videos up till the end of February, pre-produced, so that then when the babies come, I can take a break for 2-3 months and I don't have to sweat it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye.